He couldn't hit. He's swinging like a sissy. He's missing. Never see you, boss. I hadn't started dancing yet. But where's it? Rotational first down and Burns gets hurt. Burns got stunned. Acko was stunned early in the round. Great first round. It's through. Perhaps one of the best in middleweight history. Hey, that black guy, he hit hard. Bang, 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 bang. Fire. Bang.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Hands of Fire Boxing Talk. Oh my god, I forgot the name of the title for a second. I'm joined by the full co-host panel today. My fellow Ring IQ admins, Julius Fox, always starting up trouble. Bo Bland. And Ibn is went to go ran to go get something, but I just wanted to go ahead and get started because I think we are 15 minutes past. And first things first, before I even get into any of the topics that we're talking about today. Whoops, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, before we got into any topics, I just wanted to take this moment to just take this time out for my subscribers to apologize. Last week we did not go on, and I usually give a heads up for stuff like this. This is Anita Baker. I apologize. I apologize to the subscribers right now because we did not go on live last week, and I didn't give notice to any of you guys, and that's not my style. I like to keep people in the know, and it's just a new job and everything. It's just trying to get adjusted, and it's seeming like now Fridays are probably going to be the times we will start going live now. All right, that's enough of you, Anita. What was that?
Time slot. This is actually a better time slot if you go by the demographic of people that are online. Online.
And I've always been trying to help out the the UK love here. It's like 3 o'clock a lot of the times.
There you go. Hey, man.
You know what, Bo? Listen. All right. Okay. So you know what is Cuba? Just because they're
no. What I'm gonna say is you don't have to learn, dog.
So they can easily adjust. I'm sorry that they just happen to fall into the flow of everything. Okay.
But you need to learn.
I am a man of the people. I am a nationless man.
You're not gonna please everybody, dog. You gotta stop
to
that.
everyone. I will let everyone have the benefactors of this podcast because everyone deserves it. I'm a man of the people. God damn it.
That's why it's on YouTube. They can replay this shit when they get the notification later on, and they're not on the toilet or whatever the fuck it is they're doing.
And then they're on their way to work. So I mean, come on. Usually we are watching this, or other people are watching this, the leisure of their homes after work. How much are you going to be able to listen to an hour and a half podcast when you're getting your way into work, your 15-minute break, and then your lunch maybe after that? You might be lucky if you even kept the fucking interest to keep watching after that. So you sit the fuck down when I'm talking, Bo.
Fuck yeah. You gotta stop trying to please. You guys stop trying to please everybody. It's not gonna happen, man.
Oh, I don't. Yep. No. Listen, I'm very selfish on top of that. Okay. So with all that being said, I'm a very selfish guy and I like to do things for myself. Solely looking out for numero uno. All right.
So you got to do.
So today we are going to talk about the big fight, unification, the first time, and what is it? It's almost it's well over 10 years. I'm assuming it's almost 15 years. Damn, it just makes you makes you feel old realizing how long ago that Bernard Hopkins Jermaine Taylor fight was.
And actually, Bernard Hopkins, Jermaine Taylor wasn't the last one, actually, man.
Or yeah, that's right, because
there was a cruiserweight.
Yeah, because he had it was a cruiserweight fight.
There was a cruiserweight that did it, but what happened was the same year he did it, they made the WBO a governing body because he had all 3 of the main belts to be undisputed. But that same year, like about 2 months after he won, that's when the WBO became part of the.
And he didn't do it. That's simple.
No, he did it. He did it before the WBO became legit.
It doesn't count, Bo. Just
It does fucking count.
doesn't fucking count.
And on top of that, so we're talking about the preview of the fight, and apparently these guys want to continue this discussion regarding pound for pound status.
Jeff
and
one, baby.
Why it matters, I don't know. It's always been objective. Even the most prestigious list of them all is still an objective one on top of it. So it doesn't make any damn sense, or at least it doesn't matter to me anyway. But you know, people like to discuss things like that, so have at it. You know, that's where my official photo of just peeping but not saying shit photo comes in handy all the time. Just sitting there lurking, laughing at all y'all. So we can continue that discussion and probably just open it up to honestly the chat. I'd like to get the chat involved since we got we got some pretty decent hours and already some good amount of people on right now. So we'll probably do that too. So Julius Indongo and Terrence Crawford. We'll get it on this Saturday on ESPN. I mean, I still think of it as the last official unification fight, I'm talking about the Jermaine Taylor and Bernard Hopkins. But yes, unification fight, biggest one in years. This I feel like, and again, this is just part of the trend for Terrence Crawford. A really good matchup for him with little to no buzz going in. I mean, the best thing that's going in for him on this is the fact that it is on ESPN. Now, to the ESPN's credit, they are fucking pushing it on. I mean, every time slot, show, Sports Center, First Take, even like other sporting events that are on, they're definitely pushing it. So, I mean, that's what it'll take out of it. But I feel like it's actually the boxing base that's not really. I don't know how to say it, how to frame it, but I don't think they're really appreciating it for what's at least coming now. I'm not seeing much attention from boxing fans on this fight that it really should.
Why you think that is?
No, you mean the Heyman shows don't appreciate it. The PBC shows don't appreciate it because they're the only ones trying to denigrate it.
What were you saying, Evan?
Hold on. What the fuck do PBC got to do with people not appreciating this motherfucking unification bout, bro?
The guys in the comments?
Seriously.
PBC as a company has nothing to do with it. Their fans, their supporters are the ones that are denigrating the fight. PBC, Al Heyman, they don't got nothing to do with it. But the guys that support them and the factions that, I don't like this promoter. And I don't like that promoter.
I can't see that as true because I'm a PBC.
No, but Evan, he's not talking about you though, Evan. He's talking about if you read the comments, right? And then this is what I hate agreeing with that one to be light skinned black ass motherfucker. But if you read the comments, okay, there are a lot of people who are looking at this because I remember when the Lomachenko numbers didn't do good, a lot of people was happy about it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people that was happy about it were people that felt a certain kind of way about how they criticize PBC. So I see what he's saying. You have people who support PBC that aren't too crazy about this, that are kind of happy this fight isn't getting the kind of push it should be getting though.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
I mean, I've seen it in other rooms.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen other rooms. I've seen it in comments. I've seen a lot.
Mm-hmm. Crawford said he wants to fight Keith Thurman. That wasn't received well. Why would that not be received well? He's saying he wants to fight Keith Thurman. He's saying he wants to go to 147. What the fuck is there to complain about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Y'all want to see?
I agree with that.
I agree with that because you know what's funny is he said he wants to fight Keith Thurman, right? And everybody was like, nah. But the minute he said, I think Thurman can be Spence. Oh, man, Crawford the man. He the motherfucking man.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like,
you want to know something?
That, like Gennady Golovkin, they ain't never climbed in another division. We still waiting for that. We'll see what he does after the Canelo fight. He wants to go up there. He wants to go up to the big boy division. He doesn't even want a tune-up. He wants Thurman. Yeah. So what the fuck is there to complain about?
And that'd be his third weight division, won't it?
Yeah, that'd be his third.
That'd be his
from
third.
35 to 40, from 40 to 40.
The reason why people complain about fights being made is because they scared for their fighter. whatever fighter they rooting for in that situation or they support in that situation, they don't want that fighter to fight fighter B and possibly take a L. I don't even really pay those type of people any type of mind.
It's a little bit more than that.
Yeah, but you have to agree that they are those people. You have to
It's a
agree
little
that
bit
those
more than
people
that.
out there.
I wouldn't. A lot of the times, I wouldn't try to categorize it to supporting a group of people that promote. Like, excuse me. What I'm trying to say is the PBC is built up of like a lot of different entities all put together and shit. You know what I mean? But it's basically Al Heyman, right? But at the end of the day, just because you support Al Heyman and what Al Heyman does, there is no reason for you not to support what's going on ESPN. If anything, you should appreciate Al Heyman and then appreciate ESPN. You appreciate Al Heyman because he started the trend that made Bob probably even feel as though he had to go to ESPN.
No,
You know?
but see here,
Yep.
I couldn't see Bob giving you free fights on free TV if it wasn't for the shit that's going on with PBC. I doubt that. So,
yeah, but see also too though, Evan, see, I look at it like this, man. I don't want to see no part of boxing fail because if one part fails, what happens? Like if Golden Boy shuts down, what happened? You know, where the fuck does Carnelo go? Then you have a monopoly where one person has it all, so they can give you whatever they want, charge you whatever the fuck they want, and you got no options as a fighter. If you don't like this promoter, where the fuck you gonna go? You only got this one guy. So that's why I say I don't want any parts of it to fail. I mean, hey, if it helps it grow, man. Because then look at the fighters. Like, what if you got a promoter that has a grudge against a fighter and he fails and you got to go to him? You know he gonna get dicked over.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I'm with you, man. I personally don't get it. I don't give a fuck who they fight. When they fight, I don't care. Listen, if he wants to fight Thurman, he wants to fight Spence. It's all good ass fights to me. I don't get cats. Like, people would rather see Thurman lose to Spence than to lose to fucking Crawford. And I don't understand that. Like, why?
This is the thing, and this is why I'm tired of it. Because this is resonating from the Pacquiao Mayweather. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers got hard feelings over that shit. That's over, dog. Bob Arum is going to have to work with Al Heyman at some point. There's no way around that. He can't keep it all in-house. He's going to have to work with him at some point. And a lot of the hard feelings, a lot of the shit you see has Mayweather and the Manny Pacquiao and the Bob Arum. It's like, man, let it go, dog. They ain't paying you shit.
If you support that shit, then you asking for boxing to stay divided because what'll happen is the fights that you want to see, you ain't gonna be able to see because the fighters gonna have different promoters. This is my problem.
The demand that we have as consumers. The demand we have as consumers is what makes these fights. Right? Yeah, we're the consumers. They trying to pill us. If we say we want that fight, they gotta give us that fight. Right. They have to.
But if we cool with them staying, you think they don't have people that watch this shit? If we cool as fans with them staying divided, if we cool with the whole Top Rank versus HBO versus fucking Al Heyman versus fucking Dan Goose, if you fucking cool with all that shit, then you gonna keep on being cool with us not getting the fights that we want to see, and that's the part I'm not cool with.
Yeah,
that's because a lot of people want to pretend that PBC fighters ain't no good, and a lot of bullshit.
That's
really what
PBC got the best. Honestly, PBC got the best roster only because they got the most people. How the fuck can you really be better than them? Honestly.
But that's the attitude that I see from the people that are Top Rank shows, and vice versa from the people that are PBC shows. The people that are PBC shows feel that those fighters over there Top Rank, those are protected fighters that they just want to keep everything in house and have them fight lighted touches the whole time.
But it's not because of the fighters.
Argument from both sides.
That may be true, but it's not because of the fighters. I don't believe that Top Rank fighters don't want to fight nobody else. I don't believe that. I do believe that. No,
there's one motherfucker that didn't want to fight nobody out of PBC. And that was Timothy goddamn Sadly.
Okay, now listen.
And he said that.
And listen.
When they asked him about fighting somebody over there, he was like, what? When they asked him about fighting the winner of Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, he was like,
I remember that
you know, what I need 2 belts for.
I remember that shit. But what I'm saying is, I'm saying overall, right? I don't believe that every fighter on Top Rank or don't want to fight PBC fighters or are afraid or think that they're neither here nor there. I don't believe that. I believe that Top Rank as a company, as a promotional company, wants to keep their business in-house. So a lot of the times they don't offer up their fighters to fight the other fighters. Now the fans, for the fans not differentiating that and blaming that on the fighters, that's one thing. I do not blame the fighters for it, but that doesn't mean that what the people are saying is not true, because you can obviously see it's truth to what's being said. It's just not the fighters' fault. That's my position on that shit.
Yeah, but we're not really getting into what the fighters' intentions are, because a lot of these fighters, to be honest, will fight a fucking Mack truck for the right price.
Right.
If you for the right price, they'll do it.
That's a fact.
It's not the fight. It's more along the lines of they're making a generalization over an entire promotional company's stable. And that's just like, though, you telling me they ain't got no good fighters. I was talking to a guy last night that Vasyl Lomachenko's a hype job. He's no good. Top Rank's going to lose their investment. It's like, come on, shut the fuck up, dog. 300 and how many fucking amateur fights before Top Rank even... You got to listen to the shit these guys say to really gauge the level of stupidity. Like, come on, dog, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah,
you shouldn't even be talking and shit like that.
That's people being over emotional. You know what I'm saying? See, one thing about the way
dumb shit.
No, what I'm saying is one thing about the way boxing is promoted is it leave room for dumb shit like that because they overhype, they overcompensate. If you was watching Lomachenko versus Mariaga, they were saying nobody from 130 to 140 wanted to fight Lomachenko. That's just not true. So some fans, what they do is they get an attitude because they see that and they like, oh, they lying, trying to hype this motherfucker up. And then what they do is, in turn, they lie. And it's over emotional bullshit. They lie. Now they saying that Lomachenko not a good fighter. Now they saying that he's a hype job when he's not a hype job.
Look, at the same time, people ain't honest. You got an army of motherfuckers out there saying that Lomachenko is ducking Rigo. But who's the one who walked away from the fight? No. Come on, dog. Like, are you a fan of boxing or are you a fan of this guy? Because I don't
you got, but see, you got to look at all the components together. Like the one thing we know, the one thing we know is we know Bob Arum sometime will make what he would consider an offer that he think is good enough for you, and if you say no, that's not good enough for you, then he walks away.
Duck it, right?
Right, and then people say, "Oh, you ducked it." Well, no, he didn't necessarily like this offer, but at the same time, though, you also have fighters who that we know for a fact, and I said this because Edizani Lauda, he got some answering to do to me as far as I'm concerned, because you don't tweet and say all this shit about how you want a motherfucker, call him bitch, tell everybody you gonna fight him by the summer, and then I'm hearing you about to fight some Terrell Gaja. Oh no, man, hell no, you can't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes fighters will think that they deserve more than what they in all actuality, that depending on where you are and how the game is,
can generate. They believe that they're worth more than they can generate. It's not even that they're not always worth it, it's that they cannot generate
that, right? So they'll ask for that. That is a common fucking thing in boxing. You can go all the way back. I remember Sugar Ray Robinson used to do that kind of shit. So that's a common thing in fucking boxing, okay? But when you just is not even picking up the phone and calling this motherfucker to talk to him, but you want to tweet about him, oh man, I got a fucking problem with that one. That one I got a problem with. You know, when dude calls you,
there's certain things you got to look at. You got to really look at, all right, are you in a position to haggle? Look at Aaron Pryor. The fight with Sugar Ray Leonard never happened because Aaron Pryor felt he was worth more than that. So as a result, the fight never happened. Do you think that Aaron Pryor was better or worse off? Win or lose? Because if you ask me, well, you missed out.
He was worse off, but in the midst of it, they don't believe that it won't happen, number one. Number two, in the midst of it, they believe that they could possibly get that money. All of these things are real possibilities to these people.
Well, they team. But see, that's why I say sometimes you can't blame the team. Yeah, right. You can't blame the fight because your team will tell you shit like, hey man, there's like an extra 100,000 on the table. You know, and they'll do shit like that. And it fucks you up. So
let's put it this way. Look at Orlando Salido. They offered this guy well over what the first fight was worth. They offered him more than that, way more than that. But think about it this way. If the fight don't happen at some point, you walked away from close to a lot more than anybody not named Vasyl Lomachenko. So, ask yourself, is that guy in a position to continue haggling, this will be the third time that they made you an offer.
What you believe?
I'm gonna put you this way. He could not have that fight.
Well, the second time he got hurt though, right? Because I remember Bob say he got hurt in the fight and he wouldn't be ready by August when they wanted him to be.
But look though,
that
was the second time. Okay.
So if you Salido, one thing that you got that you probably believe that you can hold over his head is that you blemished this record. So in your mind,
but
dollar amounts is
listen to what I'm saying.
Lomachenko losing
you gotta let
money
me finish,
or losing fans.
Are you gonna let me finish? All right, let me finish. If Lomachenko is who they say he is, if he can become what they're trying to make him, because you can see that they're trying to make him the guy over at HBO. If he can become that, then they'll eventually wind up giving you $1 million. If you're Salido, you probably believe that. Why? Because you beat him already. You have a reason for him to come back. A lot of people don't got that shit. So when you're talking about business and being at a fucking table, yeah, they sitting in there saying, you know what? You telling me no today, but motherfucker, in 18 months, if they responding to this motherfucker like you trying to make them, then you gonna have my $1 million and you gonna give it to me because I beat him. Fuck you. I ain't gonna get paid like this.
But you know what though, Evan?
I'm not gonna get it if I give in to y'all guys. I will never ever get it, and that's what.
But
they
you know what?
You might not never ever get it if you don't give in.
That's what they believe.
But you know what though, Evan? See, my thing with that too also is this now. To a certain degree in this aspect, Orlando Salido got to be real about something, okay? First off, I see what you're saying because if you think about it, they was going to have the fight at Staples Center with Orlando Salido. Then when he pulled out, they moved it to a smaller venue. So Salido probably is thinking to himself, yo, I'm putting asses in the seats for y'all to make this fight because he's going to fight in L.A.
Y'all need me for him. Y'all might not need me
but
for
at the same time, Orlando Salido got to be more realistic about, hey, man, at this phase and point in your game, when you gonna get a payday like this?
I can really count on you guys to turn from Julius Indongo to Salido and Lomachenko. Supposed to be a preview, guys. Come on, let's stay on. Let's stay focused.
But
let's stay focused.
But here's the problem, though.
Let's wrap it up.
Go ahead. But here's the problem, though. The problem I have with this whole Indongo and Terrence Crawford fight is you can see it's already there. People are trying to downplay what Indongo has done so bad that I already see it. People talking about something. What does Terrence Crawford win? All he did was beat Indongo. But Indongo is a dude that in less than 6 months' time became a unified fucking champion.
And it seems like it's quite like it's the same song all over again.
I did a video.
Like we do this every time that not Julius, but Terrence Crawford has wins, legitimate wins, solid, competitive fights, or well, not competitive fights, but competitive
opponents.
As far as and opponents.
You look at his opponents, like man,
very lively. Yeah, like I mean, and it's just it's a deterrent, not because of what they necessarily are in skill. It's because of they're just not acknowledged. Not many people know who the fuck they are, so they in turn make that as, oh, he's not good because I don't fucking know him.
But see, I did a video. Hold up. I did a video where I said we should be grateful for Julius Indongo because think about it. We're about to get a fight where we have undisputed, right? Can we honestly sit here and say that shit would have happened as soon as it did if Indongo didn't come along? You trying to tell me that Trovanovsky and his people would have been in a hurry to fight Crawford? You trying to tell me Ricky Burns would have been in a hurry to fight Crawford again a second time? Come on, man. Come on. It's bullshit, dog. Here's a guy that won 2 titles.
Right now. You got guys right now that are saying Errol Spence is a pound-for-pound fighter because he went to Kell Brook's backyard and beat him. Yet Julius Indongo did that twice.
Mm-hmm.
Indongo, they don't want to give him any credit, but you're giving Errol Spence credit for beating a guy coming off a loss when the guys that he beat
on paper,
coming off a win.
On paper,
I don't understand that.
Better than motherfucking Spence. I love EJ, but on paper, Indongo's better and further along because of opportunity.
Yeah.
That's true. You can't even get away from that.
Backyards. If going to people's backyards means that much, then you got to give credit to him.
He's not one of them to fuck out.
2 guys.
Yeah, and speaking of on paper, I mean, let's just take it to in ring on what he actually applies as an opponent. And that Ricky Burns, I mean, he first
Dude,
of all,
he
he was
man.
probably the nightmare for any type of fundamentally just sound fighter, orthodox. He is first of all, he's a southpaw, he's rangy, and he's a fluid big man on top of that. He's very athletic. He's not really stiff at all.
And he boxed in and out. I was talking to Bo about this yesterday. If you watch him, he doesn't box in and bear down. A lot of tall guys, they'll box in it and bear down, and that's what allows you to slip and let one go past and shorten distance for yourself to work. He tends to go in and come back and go in and come back, and that's very hard to deal with when a joker already got a reach advantage over you, because it makes his punches, it makes his range actually longer. So I'm anxious to see what Bud will come up with to negate that. I feel that overall Bud has like more skills. He has like a deeper bag of tricks. So he'll be able to pull something out, but I'm anxious to see what he will have to use. Because it's almost I
just want to ask Ibn real quick a follow up, and I'll get to you, Bo. What do you think Terrence Crawford, like as far as how he comes out? You know, he typically likes to go the opposite stance of his opponent, like whatever they provide for him. And I feel like he's actually, I've seen him in at least closer earlier rounds, because you know his earlier rounds are usually close, but they're closer when he's actually facing a southpaw. How do you think he approaches this, at least in the early beginnings, to at least strategize toward later rounds if it needs to go that far?
You want to know something? Being honest, I thought about that, and I was watching Indongo fight a couple nights ago. Matter of fact, on my birthday, I was watching Indongo fight and shit, right? And to be honest, I never seen Bud in this situation. I don't know which way he gonna go, cause I ain't never seen him fight nobody that's taller and longer and that fights rangy. It's not even like Postal, cause Postal gonna give up some of the height coming to you, and you could like.
And he was quite stiff. And I mean, he was a limited opponent, especially in his agility. But this is a different kettle of fish.
And I agree, and that's what I'm saying. I always told people if I had a concern about Bud, it was that everybody he's fighting is smaller than him, because I believe that Bud is already like a welterweight, and I believe that he could just make 140. That being said, he deserves to be undisputed. He deserves a chance at undisputed. So I was not against this fight. I'm down with this fight 100%. And I think that Indongo is going to present a challenge. You know what I'm saying? But I always felt as though like we ain't gonna know what's up with Bud until we fight a bigger guy. This, in a couple ways, is a bigger guy. So, you know, I'm just anxious for tomorrow to come, honestly. Like I said, I picked Bud, but I don't know what he's gonna do with this.
All right, Bo.
No, I think, you know, I think the reason why people are downplaying it, it's not so much as, oh man, you know, it's really so much we can say. I'm gonna try to make it short. A lot of fans are lazy. If they don't know nothing about you, they ain't trying to look up anything about you at all. They just don't give a fuck. If they don't know, they just don't know, and they cool with that. But I think a lot of it has to do with Bud's success. Like, he's made, ever since the Gamboa fight, he's made relatively fights that should have been competitive look easy. So people are downplaying it because of how good he's looked. But that's not his fault. You know, that's not his fault at all, period. Then a lot of people really don't understand what this means as undisputed. A lot of fans don't even understand like the importance of this being undisputed and what it means, because all they know is, listen, Bud Crawford's fighting a guy that we never heard of, and that's it. That's just how they're looking at it. You know, I mean, they're more excited about Canelo 3G, and well, we don't even know if the WBC belt gonna be on the line. But here's a guy who, if you look at the guys he took on Felix Diaz when nobody even wanted to fight that dude, especially after that Lamont Peterson fight where they felt he got robbed. He took on Victor Postal when, you know, a lot of people felt like Danny Garcia didn't want nothing to do with Victor Postal. He was like if you look at what Bud has been doing, he hasn't been making us wait to get fights like this. He's like, no, I'm not gonna let shit build. I want that motherfucker now. So, and that kind of, unfortunately, man, I hate to say it, but that kind of like attitude to me seems to go lost on fans. They just want to see.
Oh, that just always confuses me. is because this is the behavior in fighters we promote, or at least always
we
assume to ask for.
Yeah, but he's a top rank fighter, so people that don't like top rank is gonna criticize him. He's a top rank fighter. If he wasn't a top rank fighter and he was a PBC fighter doing this exact same thing, you'd have guys on the top rank end saying, "Oh, he ain't shit." It's always gonna be that division until motherfuckers stop acting like you work for top rank and stop acting like you work for PBC. None of them is cutting you a check. You got Crawford that's willing to fight anybody, and y'all mad at him?
Right.
You must be retarded. If Triple G said, "Yo, bring me James DeGale right now," for him, if he said, "Yo, bring me Zerto Ramirez right now," I want Zerto. Wouldn't that reflect well on him? You got Terrence Crawford at 140 saying, "Yo, I want Keith Thurman." I want him, and that's bad. Fuck out of here, man.
Thurman, wait a minute.
Don't work with
BBC. You got a guy in Crawford that told Danny Garcia, "Man, I beat you and your daddy ass. You keep talking shit to me, you know." I mean, I'm just saying, like, when you look at guys like Crawford and Earl Spence, who, like Julie said, they'll fight anybody. They don't give a shit, man. They'll fight anybody. Just get their names on the line, sign a check. I'll fight anybody anywhere. And people always want to hate on them. And like you said, long as we got that division, man, with PBC, Top Rank, and Golden Boy, long as you got fans that have that, yeah, you're right, dog. We always gonna have this kind of atmosphere.
And just, I don't want to veer off too much off topic, but that whole debate doesn't make any sense to me anymore. Just because it seems like the two who you would think actually have the serious beef, Bob Arum and Al Heyman, actually squashed this shit already. So this whole still illusion of that, it's like, oh, that there's still these teams. It's like two generals agreeing to making a treaty, go home, and the fucking soldiers are still fighting on the field.
You've had more PBC fighters fight over at Top Rank than Top Rank made fights with Golden Boy.
Yeah.
We don't have illusions about Bob. Bob is a cheap, greedy man, but he's a promoter. Is he supposed to be a nice?
They all are. Man? That's the thing. They all are. How you gonna make money?
About this shit. You can't be mad at Bob for being the way that he is. That's his job. You know, a promoter that's a saint that ain't cheap. That they gonna.
How you gonna make money? Right? How you gonna make money? If you pay $500, if you pay $500 for a car, you gonna sell that same car for $500?
I think it's funny when people try to seek morality in business. That is the most foolish thing I see people to do.
What these guys are saying. Think about what these guys are saying. You want Bob Arum to be generous? You want him to make these guys, you know, the all that they want? Or do you not know this sport at all? Do you not know how these things work? Do you not know how these fights get made? And you thinking that they're gonna give these guys whatever fucking money they want?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh shit. And say what you want to say about Bob. I've said this. I said, listen, say what you want to say about Bob with lawsuits. But every motherfucker, when they leave Bob, they leave with a name that they can still build on.
Yep.
Make money. Every last one of them. Yeah, he does. I'm so glad Shakur Stevenson went with Bob and not the money team. That was I agree with you 100%. Move. I agree with you 100% on that one. I agree 100% on that one.
Hey, listen, I don't know about going and signing to the money team. I don't know about that. I mean, it's looking good for Javante, though. It's looking good for Javante, though. But
solely,
just keep on watching. So far, I don't know about that.
No, you know what? I'm glad he went because Floyd Mayweather is a control freak, and Shakur Stevens don't need that. He need to grow into being his own man, so he don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Bob knows how to.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about that shit that took place with Broner and Javante Davis. Man, Shakur Stevens don't need to be involved in that kind of shit, man.
Yeah. So, and then you would have to worry about being upstaged by your own fucking promoter. And, you know, he wants to, like, I still can't get over that shit he did with Badu Jack. Like,
when he jumped in the ring and shit?
No, I mean, the press conference after, the post conference.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't see that.
Foot Jack.
He talked about himself for an hour, dog. For an hour. Your fight is about to have a fight, and you can't stop talking about yourself. What kind of promotion is that?
He's trying to create a business just off his name. It really seems like at least his strategy at this point. It's like, you know what? People know me, so if they just know people, if they know this fighter's associated with me, they might just come out. Yep. That's his business approach that it seems to be right now.
He's trying to take the
but at some point, you gotta allow your fighter to be a draw, man.
I'm not going to say that Floyd don't got it, but being a promoter takes certain things. You know what I mean? Don King is a good promoter. Say what you want. Yeah, he's a crook, but he's a good promoter. Big fights have happened because of Don King.
Yep.
Wait a minute, Don King get motherfuckers fights. You be like, damn, who is this motherfucker? How the fuck he become a Mando?
He'll get you a Mando, bro. For real, like. Yo, he almost had Amir Imam. Soon as Amir Imam lost to Granados, he almost had him in there with Terence Crawford. I forgot what Terence Crawford did, why it went another type of way. But like even the fact that he was able to pull that off like that was amazing. I was like, damn.
I was in the room.
And look at Bermain Stavern.
I was in the room on YouTube arguing with a cat. He said Amir Imam can beat Terence Crawford.
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know about that. I like the young master though. The young master do got some skills, but I don't know about that. He does though. You gotta watch him. If you watch him box though, he can box. Don't get it fucked up. Young master can box. I think that pressure. Granados kind of like he like broke him down like with the pressure, but he's a better fighter. I like more skilled fighter rather. He's a more skilled fighter than Granados was any day of the week. Like he could fight. Young master can fight.
He can fight, but he checks out. He checks out too much under pressure.
He can check out under pressure. Yeah, I agree.
All right, so guys, also at least on this undercard of this event, looks like Alexander Gvozdyk. I never say his name right.
The light heavyweight.
Gvozdyk. Whatever. That totally looks like Dick at the end of his name, or no? Yeah, DYK. That's Dyke. Craig, I don't know who the fuck Craig Baker is, honestly. That's who he's fighting. Also Mike Alvarado, Dillian White, and Brian Jennings are featured on the undercard of this fight. And also Shakur Stevenson, who's 2-0 currently, going into hopefully become 3-0. So any of you guys looking for anything in particular out of those names I just mentioned?
The Brian Jennings fight.
Those are all showcase fights. Those are all showcase.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I want to make sure people didn't get confused. Brian Jennings and Dillian White were not fighting each other, but they are all fighting different people. So
now that Brian Jennings fight is what I'm interested in because we haven't seen Jennings since he lost to Ortiz, and it depending on how he looks, Bob has already said he might put him in there or try to make a fight with Parker, and if he can look good. Yeah, and as I say, if he looks good and he fights Parker, that's a good fight because that's the kind of name Parker needs right now. Is somebody of that quality.
Beat him. Jennings, if Jennings could look like he used to look, he could beat him.
Yeah, I agree.
Quick, Parker's too polite, don't know how to hit the gas. Jennings could win that fight if he looks good.
I agree. So yeah.
Hey, Eben, you got any faith in the boy?
He got to make a Mr. Jab. I like Baba. I support that brother. I think he you can't you don't want to count your eggs before they hatch. So he got to win this fight. Mm-hmm. I don't even know who he's fighting because I didn't know he was on his undercard.
A guy by the name of Daniel Marks.
Daniel Marks.
Yeah, I think he's like 14-6 or something like that.
All right, so we about to see the get back. After that, they're gonna start talking some business. And I think the good thing about the position he's in was that he was in a fight with Klitschko where though he was able to make it the whole distance. And then even though he had that situation with Ortiz, he went and fought Ortiz though. If people don't be going to fight Ortiz.
He just fought the wrong fight against Ortiz.
Right, man. Right. So if he could look good at this, he could win this convincingly, he'll get another opportunity. Because like he's not the kind of threat where though I'm not fighting him. You know what I'm saying? So like they'll fight him. So, I hope the brother wins this fight and gets another opportunity. And he's from my city.
Losing a Klitschko to fight Ortiz, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's usually the heavyweight grave.
Yeah,
She got to Klitschko, and then that was about it.
But he
Hey,
didn't go like he didn't go out like a
you go
punk.
fight Ortiz.
He
hey,
didn't go out like a punk and either fight though either.
hey! When you
Like
think
a
about
dog.
it, when you think about it, that motherfucker had 2 back-to-back fights that most motherfuckers wouldn't take in 2 years.
Oh, career, bro. It's a real
Oh
shit.
no.
He did. I don't give a fuck. He did.
And that fight with Klitschko was a fight too, Jack. He made Vladimir fight. He made Vladimir fight.
Yeah, he did. He did.
The refs wasn't letting him hold. He was in the United States. I think they was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wasn't letting him
Square
hold.
Garden.
Yeah, they wasn't letting him hold. So Baba made that shit a long night.
I like that. Yeah, I like that fight. And I think that's really the only one because everything else, like you said, everything else is showcased. But the one I'm interested in that one because Bob Evans has not been in the heavyweight division, been a part of the heavyweight division in a while. And now it looks like he got 3 guys. He got Andy Ruiz, he's got Parker, and he's got
with
Jim.
that being said, Dillian White being on this undercard as well. That was a bit of a surprise to me.
Man, fuck Dillian White from the UK. Fuck them.
Dude, why you got to be so nasty? Why you?
I like. I don't give a fuck.
Why you like that?
I like.
I'm just messing. I'm just messing. I'm just messing. Nah, you know what? I like the fact of how they're trying to, like, if you look at the demographics, they're trying to have different weight divisions on this undercard for you to look at and watch, which is good. That's good because I think Americans, anything below 147, motherfuckers don't pay none attention to unless they know the names like Crawford, Mikey Garcia, and Lomachenko. Outside of that, if they don't know no other names, they're not looking below 147. So I like that. You got Shakur Stevens, you know, you got heavyweight, light heavyweight, you know, you got a guy in Kovacic that may be challenging Andre Ward. So I like it, man. I like what he's doing with this fight, man.
Gentlemen, anything else? Julius, anything you're looking for in particular, or just the main event?
I ain't catch that last part. My internet is shit.
Yeah, you definitely just had some mad dead air. I'm saying, was there anything you were looking for into this fight? I mean, other than the main event, or was that just it?
I think it's going to be a chess match, honestly. I think Crawford is going to use timing because Indongo telegraphs a lot of what he does. Crawford throws shorter punches than he does. Smaller guy, faster hands. Indongo's long and rangy, but I think Crawford will be okay. I just think he's going to fight real careful. Because Indongo's
do you think there's a chance he gets the boos that he got from the Victor Post, meaning that he has to fight a way that's going to be very unappealing at some point?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gonna have, He's gonna have to box. He's gonna have to box. He ain't gonna be able to just go beat this guy up.
I don't see him having his way. I don't see it being that way. This is gonna be a chess match. This is gonna be a thinking man's fight. It has to be plans on winning. You know,
I'm about to say,
don't try that guy. You know what I mean? Don't try him.
Because the one thing we know he can
going to your backyard and fucking you up. Don't try him.
Yeah, I'm about to say because the one thing we know is Indongo can hit because he not. I mean, with the way Travanovsky went down to the ground, that shit was wow.
You know? Yeah.
Looked like he got shot. Looked like he got shot.
Yeah, and he hacks with that right or with that left hand.
Yes,
like it's not always a direct route right up the middle.
Right. So I think Terence Crawford's going to have to tune out the crowd. If he hears boo, tune out the crowd. And like you said, box. Sometimes I think it was Larry Merchant. Sometimes, man, sometimes you got to win and then worry about looking good in the next fight.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what showcase fights are for.
Yep. I mean, if you watch the fight after the Postal fight, when he fought Molina and he fought Felix Diaz, he put on the show.
Yeah, so, he was whooping their fucking ass.
Right. So go in this fight, box, do what you got to do, win, become undisputed. Because at the end of the day, trust me, I bet you he'll feel a lot better being undisputed champion than worry about motherfuckers booing his ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because when you sit at the negotiation table, they don't ask you, well, how many people booed you? They ask you how many belts you got. That's what they ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. To go thinking, man, find out. I think that we should talk about Crawford's head. Crawford's head that he think that Keith Thurman beats Errol Spence, and I don't believe that bullshit.
Oh,
I
that's
think
yeah,
he's throwing shade.
that's nonsense. That's probably just being.
Shade.
I wonder, do Bud think that he'd be Earl Spence?
I catch that.
He said if Bud could beat Errol Spence.
No, Bud thinks he can beat Errol Spence.
I wonder if Bud think that. He
Yeah.
thinks Thurman can beat him. Do you think that you can beat him?
Well, Bud thinks he can beat anybody.
Ooh. What you saying, Eben? What do you think?
Who, me? I think he's too small right now. I think you need to go up.
I think he could beat Errol.
Not today.
Thurman.
Not today.
I don't know.
Not Errol.
Errol's too big.
I think he could beat him.
He's too big.
Nah, it ain't about being big. What
It
if Terrence Crawford is the next Floyd?
Well, Floyd. Well, Errol Spence got kicked out of Floyd's gym for putting hands on him a little bit.
Oh snap! I did hear that.
Boy, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. You know what? I'd listen. If you had to judge what we see from Crawford from a skill set level, okay,
right,
and then judge what we see from Spence from a skill set level. If I'm looking at what I know Crawford can do versus what Spence can do, there's different levels to what Crawford can do versus what Spence can do. So I don't have a problem. If anybody thinks, what'd you say?
Spence gonna take a loss at 54, not 47.
Yeah, but if anybody thinks that,
but not now.
But if anybody thinks that Crawford can beat Spence, I wouldn't have a problem with that, because if you look at the levels that Crawford displays versus the levels that Spence has displayed, you can see that. But now, remember now, we've only seen these levels because Spence has not had the opportunity to fight the type of opponents that Crawford's been able to fight, where we can see what he has. So far, he's been able to beat these guys coming at him, bailing them over and imposing his will on him. So he hasn't been forced to show us his different levels just yet. That's why I'm interested in seeing him fight like a Keith Thurman or a Terrence Crawford or somebody that'll box and try to move around and move real good. I'm interested in seeing how he would handle that. The one thing about Errol Spence is he's mentally fucking tough. He ain't checking out. Okay, he's mentally fucking tough, Jack. Because it wasn't going his way in the Brooks fight.
The thing about him is
I keep saying Brooks.
I agree with
Julius
when Julius said he don't think he's going to lose until he goes to 154. I agree with him. The only reason why is because he has he bears down on you to break you down, and I don't think that none of these guys can negate that for a whole 12. When you look at Kell Brook, he was the biggest and the strongest. And Kell Brook has good boxing ability. Now, you had a whole eye thing, and you could say, okay, this half is probably weaker because this half had just got broken. So you can look at it that way. But at the same time, you could look at it at yo, he broke Kell Brook down too. Not only was he doing it to Van Hertens and fucking Bundus when nobody else couldn't do it, but then he got Kell Brook, and then he did it again. Now, this is the biggest and strongest guy at 147. Gotta think about that. You know what I mean? Can Keith Thurman withstand that shit for 12?
No, I don't think so.
Put him down?
No,
I don't think so.
Put him down so he ain't go that far?
No. Keith can't even. I don't even think Keith can make him respect him.
I think that.
To be honest,
you will have to respect.
A lot of Keith Thurman fans ain't gonna like that, but I don't give a fuck.
The first 4 rounds, Keith Thurman punched hard as a motherfucking mule, man. On some real shit, I think that you have to respect Keith Thurman punching. I believe that. I don't believe that he's going to – I'm not saying he'll, stop Errol Spence or nothing, but I feel as though, you ain't going to just go in high guard and just walk through that shit and let this motherfucker punch up on you like that. Not Keith Thurman.
I think that fight would be a war, but that's a war that Errol Spence would win. Big gun.
I agree.
You're outgunned.
I agree. I definitely.
Thurman got a good set of legs. Keith Thurman got a good set of legs to get away from a Danny Garcia or to keep up with a Sean Porter. You're not getting away from Errol Spence. You're not. You're going to have to open up when he does, and somebody's going to get hit, and that's going to be Thurman.
All right, and this comes from a chat from Boxing Fan saying y'all people are underrating Thurman. Thurman will outbox Spence from the outside.
What is outbox?
And take minimal punishment. And that's exactly what I think a lot of fans are confusing movement with boxing. They are two different things.
Minimal punishment?
Because just because you are moving a lot does not mean you are boxing.
Yes.
Okay, wait. He said minimal punishment. Oh yeah. How was that minimal punishment against Luis Collazo?
Exactly. Exactly.
How was that minimal punishment against Sean Porter?
I was just about to say that. Thurman looked more banged up than Porter did.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he talking about?
And even Garcia had spots where he put his hands on him too.
Yeah, he did. That was the funny part. And I'm looking at I watched that fight I think 4 times now since it aired. And I see the level of respect that he was giving Danny Garcia because he was very wary of those counters. He didn't want to get hit. He didn't want to get hit. If you don't want Danny to hit you, God forbid Errol Spence hits you. It is.
And he a body puncher.
Got it for Spence.
He a body puncher.
That's the other thing. He going to take Keith's legs away. He could take Keith's legs away. Track him down, pin him down on them ropes, and go to the body. Keith ain't going to be moving around like that but for so long.
Boxing is 12. Boxing is 12 rounds. You got the first half of the fight, then you got the second half of the fight. And let me tell you, a lot of cats has never looked at the same in the second half as they did in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
And Keith Thurman, he always seems to gas out around that 7th, 8th round. That motherfucker, he seems to gas. So
around the 4th round, he stopped punching that as hard. Around the 8th round, he's a little bit tired. That's real shit.
Ask yourself this question. Why coast with Danny Garcia? Why would you do that? Because you don't want to go in there and get him. You don't want to go in there and get him. So you going to coast.
The thing about Danny is, though, Danny can punch a little bit, though. He like his shit.
I'm not saying he can't. Danny got power. I'm saying that you coasted because you made that decision. And you made that decision because you ain't want to go in there and do that. So if you give Danny that level of respect,
right,
you can't coast with him. He's coming after you.
I agree.
Danny might let you set the pace a little bit so he could work off the counter. Errol Spence ain't going to let you set the pace. He's setting the pace. Yep. He's going to walk you down. He's going to fuck you up.
Yep.
And you got to be able to keep up with that. Keith can't do it. Keith can't do it.
Yeah, and he's got to show the one time of old. I can't even say of old because he's not even one time anymore. What's a good name now? Sometime, once upon a time, sometime, once in a while.
You know something about that? I'm not going to give him too much flack about that. You know why? Because as a boxing coach, he being a smart fighter. If he has the leg and the skills and the ability to outbox a man, and he goes and he tries to attack the man, and he realizes he can't put that man away, and he goes to boxing, I'm not mad at that because that's what
that's just a change in strategy. I'm just making the note that
I just want to know
the power that you claim to be notorious for isn't so.
I want to know something though. I would like to know something though. I would love to ask whoever asked that question. This one question, and all fans, why is it when we sit down, we critique, we break down, and we tell you who will win based off why is it we always underrating the motherfucker by doing that?
Exactly. I
mean, we're sitting giving you legitimate reasons to fight. Right, we're giving you legitimate reasons why it's possible. So how are we underrating the guy? we're giving you boxing. We're not just saying, "Oh, Earl got it." We're giving you boxing reasons as to why. Why? How is it we're underrating the guy?
Yeah, I mean, just because I think Spence walks him down doesn't mean he's just going to do it at free will. I mean, he's going to have to go through some fire, but.
I just said it was going to be a war. But
yeah.
Yeah. I just said it was going to be a war. Thurman not just going to stand there, but he's going to get outgunned. That's all.
And he's going to get lit the fuck up.
My fucking Kell Brook, after the Kell Brook fight and watching how Kell Brook fought, yeah, because if you tell somebody else this shit, they don't really know how to interpret it. Kell Brook fought a good fight. Kell Brook is a tough son of a bitch. He's tough. Based off of that fight, I'm not even sure Thurman would have beat him.
No.
This is compromised Kell Brook that just got his ass whooped, but he fought well.
You know what I think, though? I ain't going to lie. I'm gonna be very honest. I think Keith Thurman will outbox Kell Brook.
I don't know, man. I don't
think
know.
will.
I don't know.
I think outbox.
I mean, I could
I
could
think he got the boxing.
see
I
that.
think he will outbox Kell Brook. I really think that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think Thurman, like overall in the welterweight division right now, Bud is not there. So overall in the welterweight division right now, he might be like the best boxer, and he might all around have the best like total package of skill. All around.
No.
That don't mean
No,
I think EJ can stop. I think EJ can beat him because EJ can stop him. But if they was to get to 12 rounds, I think Thurman would have been one on points because he probably would have outboxed. I think he's a better boxer than them. I really think that.
I don't think that. I don't think that.
Respect
I
that.
think Thurman. I think Thurman throws a little wider. I like Errol Spence's punch selection. I like how short those punches are, how crisp they are. Throwaway punches. A lot of that shit with Porter, those throwaway punches.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That a lot of arm punches.
You know what I mean? Errol Spence, when he throw a punch, he is in position to throw that punch. That's why that shit hurt. Thurman, he throwing. I'm not saying he's not throwing, but it's not the same effect. Better boxer because he throws more, because he has a variety of punches, because being balanced.
He got better footwork. Thurman got better footwork. And
How he got better footwork and he throwing arm punches?
Bro.
Punches.
Thurman gets around the ring better, bro. Got better footwork.
Listen.
He got better circle game and all that.
Man, listen.
He do.
You got to make
Errol Spence. Bro. He do. I'm not. I think that Errol Spencer beat Keith Thurman. Because the intangibles of them fighting is different.
Let me ask you a question.
That Keith Thurman is more skilled, though he's a little bit better.
Let me ask you a question. What do you rate higher? I'm going to name you two things. What do you rate higher? Errol Spence's ability to track an opponent down and cut off the ring, or to circle the ring or fight on the back foot? What do you rate higher?
At this point,
who's better at what they do? Is that what you're asking?
Exactly.
I got it
better at what?
Go ahead, George. What you said?
No, I was just trying to realign the question just to make sure at least
in other words,
what it is, and it sounds like he's just saying who are you counting on more to execute their game plan?
Exactly.
Against each other, I think that EJ will overpower Thurman's. But what I'm saying is overall, I believe after what I seen when he fought Danny, and when I seen when he fought that doggone Sean Porter, the pressure that Sean Porter brought him, he was able to still beat Sean Porter off the back foot. Sean Porter usually breaks down everybody else. He gets to you with that bullshit. No matter how you feel about it, he usually gets to you with it. Kell Brook is bigger and stronger. That's why Kell Brook is doing a lot of fucking holding. And that fight was kind of close. So when you look at the fact that he was able to overcome that, and when he fought Danny, he went to knock Danny out and he realized he couldn't, and then he was able to just outbox Danny. I'm riding with Thurman when it comes to the whole division. I still think that EJ could beat Thurman, but that's only because I think that he could stop him. That's the only reason why, because I think the body attack, I think he'd wear him down. But that don't mean that I think he's a better fighter. It's two different things.
The contest decides. The contest decides who the better fighter is. That's why they're fighting. When they meet and they fight and one wins and one loses, they decided that night who the better fighter was.
But Julius, Salido beat Lomachenko.
And that night he was better. I don't even listen. I don't even have a problem saying that.
You know what I'm saying,
No. I'm saying that. You know why? Because Salido he used veteran tactics. Veteran tactics that Lomachenko didn't know what to do with. So that night, does that mean he's better overall? God, no. But that night,
Tony beat Michael Nunn, bro. You know how many times I can name when a man, no. It's not always the skill level and who's the better fighter, who's the more skilled fighter, and who wins in a fight. It could be two different things. If that's the case, then all-time great fighters would have never lost to this guy or lost to that guy. Different intangibles can come into play, and somebody can lose to somebody. It can be a situation where that's why triangle theories don't make no sense. Basically, what you're doing is like you're saying that I can't say or that it's impossible for a fighter to be a more skilled fighter than one fighter, but he can't beat this fighter. it's intangibles why he can't beat that one fighter.
Well, you
bunching
it. Listen, you bunching it. You bunching it.
Same way when he fight every fighter.
You bunching it all together. You bunching it.
Thurman
Listen,
has
you
shown
bunching
the
it all
skill,
together.
has displayed the skill. What you saying?
You putting all that shit together the wrong way.
No,
You can have
not.
more. Yes, you are. You saying that because he knows how to do this and he knows how to do that and he knows how to do this. And at the end of the day, all the different things you did are not going to help you win that fight. So how could you be the better fighter if you didn't win when you applied it?
Bro.
The man
because
is in the
it's
ring
amongst
with
the
you.
field and then it's a what? Bro, I'm not going to argue.
The man is in the ring with you. You're going to
know
tell me
boxing.
he beats you, but
you
you're the better
you only
fighter?
know boxing from a boxing fan standpoint, so you can't understand what I'm saying. George, fucking
he knows
Bo,
how to
can
do
you
this,
explain
and because he knows how to
I'm
do
not
that,
gonna
he's
keep
the
arguing with you over
better
some shit.
fighter. But if you apply that,
All right,
it
bro.
don't
All right,
work,
you're
then how
right.
are
All
you
right,
the better
all right,
fighter?
all right, you're right, bro. All right.
It's funny because both you guys got points, and it's hard to just necessarily go either way because, like I said, both you guys kind of have certain points.
Bro,
made.
Singh Sarat or whatever the fuck his name was beat Chocolatito, bro. It was the way he was fighting Chocolatito. He's not better than no fucking Chocolatito, bro.
We're going to find out because the rematch is coming. We're going to find out because the rematch is coming. We're going to find out because the rematch is coming. We're going to see if it was a fluke or not. But at the end of the day, if the man is in the ring with you, there's no excuses. You by yourself in there.
No, I'm not by my fucking self. A lot of people.
You using everything you know to win that fight. If it don't work, then how is he not the best fighter?
What's your opinion, Bo? Bo, what's your opinion, Bo?
Man.
Hey, look, like I'm just gonna say this. And I think it might at least make my point. Jeff Horn was not the better fighter on the night he beat Manny Pacquiao. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I don't even think he won the fight, but I got to
abide by the rules. I don't think he won the fight, but here's the thing, and this is why, like George said, both of you guys got points, right? And here's where both of you guys got points. I totally understand and agree with Julie that on that night, just that night, you was the better fighter because you pulled out a victory on that night. Not saying, and then too, it's based off how you pull out a victory, okay? If it was a clear-cut victory and you won a close decision or something like that, then hey, on that night, you was the better fighter. But then you have some fights where a guy is getting beat and he just happens to land this fucking punch the other guy didn't see and knock him out. That didn't mean you was a better fighter right then and there. And that's what you're saying.
That's true.
That didn't mean you was a better fighter. That just means that something went your way. There's an intangible that went your way that let you win, but it didn't necessarily mean you was the better fighter that night. That's why I say both of you guys both of you guys got really good points.
Look at Yuriorkis Gamboa, very skilled fighter, right? We all agree he's a skilled fighter. Gamboa, yes. Did y'all see the fight that he lost?
Yeah. And we don't talk about that on here.
Is he a better fighter?
No, we do. We do.
Is he a better fighter, a more skillful fighter than the guy that beat him? I say yes.
Castellano, yeah.
He's a better fighter than that guy. But at the end of the day, that night, no, you wasn't. He got you. What do you want? He got you. When we think back of y'all two, what we gonna remember is, yo, he fucking beat you, dog. He beat you.
I never said nothing to try to discredit a man on the night that he beat the other man by saying, oh, you're not better than that fighter. You just beat him. On that night, no, you beat that man. You got the best of him, you beat him. Y'all was in the ring and you beat him. What I'm saying is, just because I think that fighter A can beat fighter B, that don't necessarily mean that I think that fighter A is better than fighter B. This fighter can have an overall better skill set and have shown me an overall better skill set up to this point. That does not mean, however, I don't look at this fighter and say, well, what he does might be the answer to you.
Now, let me ask you a question. I want to ask a question. I'm going to ask this question to everybody. If all the skills you possess are put into practice the night of the fight and they don't help you secure the victory, then what is the value of those skills if you applied them all and they failed?
Bro. Who's to say you hit on all cylinders that night?
That's just what I'm saying.
Oh, come on, George. You coming with this alternative.
I mean, no, but seriously, boxing is it's too abstract to just make it so general like that.
That's what I'm trying to tell him.
How is that general? What's general about that?
You're assuming that every guy comes into every fight top notch every fucking time. 100% of all their fights, they're coming in top quality, and not every guy has that. Some guys may overtrain one fight. One might have a shit diet. One might just you know what I mean.
This shit be happening, man. Boxing is it's not always 1 + 1 = 2 in this shit. It is a lot of the times, but it's not always like that. The perfect example.
Don't make excuses for Keith when he loses.
Bro,
don't make excuses for Keith when he loses, Ibn. That's
I'm not making it. You know, I'm the one that call him Keith. What the fuck?
I made excuses for
I made it up, Keith.
Why you doing that?
Evan, stop. Now you know what that motherfucker is doing. Stop. Don't do this to yourself.
How you doing that?
Because I gotta protect the integrity of the sport, bro.
Nobody's damaging the integrity of the sport.
Yes, you are. Because you try to
how? You saying that two guys can meet in a contest. It's a contest. It's not an exhibition.
I'm from WBA, IBF,
it's a contest.
WBO,
not
legendary motherfucking.
Hey, wait, hold on real quick, because I want to bring up another example. Ibn, dude, you're gonna know his name because he's from your area. I forgot his fucking name, but we reference him a lot. He went to he's a smaller weight fighter, went to England.
Hunter.
And
Eric.
Yeah, there you go. And remember how he was fighting a decent fight starting out, and then the ref kind of started hampering his whole game plan.
And he felt
another instance where third party
but I mean
things can just be abstract. You can be 100% and it still may not mean everything.
Bro, by Julius' definition,
it wasn't that his skills failed him. The ref is fucking up his game plan.
Well, that's what. But then it's better than Julius. Then it's better to say then it's better to just we could see on the face of it whether or not we can accept a fighter went in 100% and accept the result for what it is. That's why people are still not in agreement for who won that first Ward Kovalev fight. That's why there's people who are damned and adamant that Jeff Horn did not win his fight and can accept to say that just because they won doesn't mean they were the better fighter that night.
Or even if you said he was the better fighter that night, that don't mean he the better fighter.
Well, I mean, I just think that Errol Spence.
It definitely don't mean that he the more skilled fighter. It definitely don't mean he the more skilled fighter. Because somebody can lose to you could lose to a fighter that's
you have to make these excuses for Keith Thurman.
It's not about Keith Thurman. It's about boxing. I'm talking about any fighter in any position. You specifying Keith Thurman. I'm not specifying Keith Thurman in this conversation. It's just that this conversation started over Keith Thurman. But I'm not.
Better than Keith Thurman.
And I just want it to be clear. I just want it to be clear that even with a top Keith Thurman, I still feel like it's not enough. He could do everything right this night. I still think Errol Spence cancels out whatever Thurman can do.
Better, George. It's because he's better. That's why.
Yeah, and that's what I mean when you have a point is because their fights 80% of the time are just like that. Mm-hmm. The better guy just flat out won. He's a better fighter. Class, the cream of the crop always rises to the top. That's just what it is 80% of the time, I'd say. It might even be smaller than that. It might even just be 10%.
Oscar De La Hoya beat Whitaker. Jermaine Teller beat Bernard Hopkins. They better than
Chavez Whitaker.
Well, Jermaine beat him twice, dog.
No, nigga, is they better than
you gotta ask yourself something. Jermaine beat him twice, not once. It wasn't a fluke.
My answer is no. I got an answer. I'm asking you.
To me, he better.
Okay.
Period.
Jermaine Teller's better than Bernard Hopkins.
Oh yeah. You beat him twice, dog.
All right, big guy. All right.
It's not even like Jermaine Taylor, some who the fuck that came out of nowhere.
All right, that's
how you talking about Jermaine Taylor, the last undisputed champion.
Okay, I heard you.
But tell me.
I heard you, bro. What you mean? I'm gonna tell you. I didn't try to tell you nothing. I just asked you a question.
The man beat him twice. What you want me to do? You want me to play a violin? He beat him twice.
Why the fuck are you repeating some shit that we already said okay to?
I'm telling George because George sound confused.
No, I mean I'm I'm just saying that's pretty provocative.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, George.
Pretty
go ahead
provocative.
And play politics, motherfucker. Go ahead and play politics.
But no,
that's a very provocative stance to hold. I'm just gonna say I personally don't agree with it. But I can see for someone to say I don't think that's the case though. I felt like Jermaine Taylor was just an opportunist of a situation.
Jermaine Taylor is not a better skillful fighter than Bernard Hopkins, but what Jermaine Taylor was able to do was nullify whatever Hopkins could do coming into that ring.
That's what the fuck I'm trying to explain. That shit can happen.
So how is he not a better fighter if he's not letting him fight his fight? How does that make sense? And
because whatever Jermaine Taylor was able to implement was able to bring to the ring and use, Bernard didn't have an answer for it.
That's
but
what
he's not
saying.
a better fighter. Even though he fought the guy, even though he fought the guy 2 times, he's not a better fighter.
No, he's not a better fighter.
Even though he's taking him out of his game plan, he's not a better fighter.
No, he's not a better fighter. He's not a better fighter. Was he the better fighter that night? Yes, but he's not a better fighter.
Two of those nights.
I'm not trying
there were 2 of those nights.
Yeah,
2 of those nights.
Right. Because
it's not a fluke.
Because hold on, wait a minute. Ask yourself, since Jermaine Taylor, when was the last time Bernard Hopkins fought a guy that was athletic like Jermaine Taylor, moving like Jermaine Taylor, all them things that Jermaine Taylor brought to the ring? That just happens to be something that Bernard Hopkins just didn't have an answer for.
It was the answer to his question. And that's
I answered his question. He said when the last time Bernard Hopkins fought an athletic fighter.
Hey, you know what? I got a serious question for you guys.
I mean somebody like Taylor though. It's been a minute.
Well, so you got to find somebody. You got to find somebody like Taylor. Why?
And that's what I mean. And wait a minute. And that's what I mean, because think about it. He also lost to a Roy Jones early on in his career. And Roy Jones, although he's way better than Taylor, but some of the things that Taylor was able to do was some of the things that we saw Jones do to beat him. That was just something Bernard Hopkins did not have an answer for. On back-to-back nights, he didn't have an answer for it.
So you're saying that you could beat the guy, but you're not better than him.
Okay.
You beat the guy.
Okay.
You beat the guy twice.
You beat Michael Jordan in the game of 1-on-1. You 6'11", 7 foot. You beat Michael Jordan in the game of 1-on-1. Are you better than Michael Jordan? No.
Because you posted up on him the whole game.
Exactly. You wore him down. That's all it is. Don't mean you're better than him.
Man, listen, this all sounds amazing, but at the end of the day, what I know is he lost to that man twice.
Oh, and we're not arguing with you.
That's what I know. He lost to that man twice.
Right, and we argue with you, and we agree with you, and we're saying, hey, on that night, yeah, he was the better. On that night, he was the better man, but is he the better fighter overall? No.
You mean does he have the more decorated career? That's what you mean.
No, he's
does
not.
He have the more decorated career?
It's not more skill displayed. He hadn't showed better motherfucking a better.
Then why didn't them skills?
Just not
why ain't them skills that you keep talking to me about work for? Why ain't they work?
Like,
what the other guy was able to do, he had no answer for. Sometimes you just won't have an answer for certain things. No matter how prepared you are, you won't have an answer for it, man.
Man, hold on. What?
You know, I mean, you go to work without your walkie-talkie and gun, you ain't got an answer for shit when it go down.
And again, that shit ain't never a knock to the other fighter. I'm not saying that. It's just that you can have boxing consists of having certain skills. And
I speak the truth. I ain't like George.
Fallacies again coming out of Bo's mouth.
Man, what you eating, man?
Some Chipotle. I'm starving. I'm sorry. I usually hold out. I was waiting, but
over there eating cashews and shit.
61175.
Cashews. Cashews. This is a barbacoa with cheese, lettuce, tomato,
I
rice.
knew he was eating some fancy shit because
black beans.
When he was chewing the shit.
Forget it.
I know, right? You know the way he was chewing that shit, dog.
He was taking little
chewing
bites.
It fancy.
If that was just a cheeseburger, you'd have heard no.
Man, he was
like a brisket.
Man, if this was a cheeseburger, you would. If you would, this was a cheeseburger, you'd be seeing the Hands of Fire logo right now.
Dude,
I would no way.
He was eating that shit like, do you have any Grey Poupon?
Taking little bites and shit.
Grey Poupon, please. Cause man, there's sour cream on this, and you know I don't need someone to be making memes of me when I get caught with sour cream on my face. So I'm trying to be very careful with
Who
this.
does that?
You know, there's jokesters out there, man. I ain't giving nobody any
Yeah, that's
opportunities.
fucked up, man. Motherfuckers be taking pictures of other people and putting that shit up on Facebook, making fun of them.
Yeah, you know, and making like about 5 pictures of them and telling them happy birthday about how shitty weed they smoke.
Hey man, that's a genius.
That's a bad thing to do.
That's a genius. That shit takes creative genius.
You got the game fucked up. If you fuck with me, George. Hey George, George. I'm gonna see you one day.
No, what are you saying? Me?
Yeah, Bo.
I ain't calling you. I'm talking about Bo. Bo did that shit. Bo, when he posted the picture for you saying happy birthday.
Yeah, man.
He told all the feds that
he done straight up put your whole business out there. I'm like,
about business. I said smoking weed. What the fuck is you talking about?
What?
That's not a business.
No, he said he gonna see.
I'm lost.
Y'all gonna light one up.
Yeah, right. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, got it. I think I got it.
Yeah, I'm a boxer, bro. I don't what. Listen, what I was saying though was, listen, man. This shit, man, it's a lot that come with this shit, and I gotta say something. I'm tired of being stereotyped because I choose to like what I like and criticize what's in the forefront. I want to bring something up. It's been a conversation going on the page for a while now, and I didn't want to touch it because everybody acts so sensitive every time I say something, but I'm gonna touch it because it's people here to deter something I'm saying or to protest anything I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: if somebody criticizes Gennady Golovkin and they criticize Lomachenko, they criticize them because they're put in the forefront of boxing. They're at the top of the pound for pound list. They're considered some of the best fighters on the fucking planet Earth. So somebody not protesting, but scrutinizing these fighters does not mean that you should be that doesn't give credence to put a tag on something. If that same person talks about other fighters that look or come from the same places that these fighters come from in good manners, then you have to take that as what those people say. You cannot put your own credence just because you're mad and you support those fighters and you're mad because I have criticism of those fighters. I wouldn't be criticizing those fighters if they weren't amongst the top fighters.
Well, the thing about criticism, okay, and this is
criticism leaves you open to criticism.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's true.
That's
true.
That's fine. But that's
if you got
fine,
something. Listen, I hear you.
But
no,
I
hear you.
My integrity and my character. You don't have.
I hear you. But what I'm saying is, look, if I say something about Ever Slendy Lara, how you gonna look at me? You know me, right? You know me. So I say something about Lara.
Ain't you don't like Lara because Lara wait.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, let him finish. Go ahead.
Ain't not Julius that don't like Lara. So anything I say about Lara is gonna get looked at a certain way. What? Because they know that. They know that. You looking at what is the motivating factor behind this comment? Why are you making this criticism? What is motivating it? So when I see Steve say something about somebody, for example, I know it's something underneath that. It's not what's on the face of the question. You saying something else.
That is Steve. Bro, you threw that at me like you don't know me. I've been watching Lomachenko before you, and you know that. So
yeah, but your question directed about you.
You know me though, Julius. If you
I'm saying, is your question? Listen, is your question a general question, or is it specifically about?
No, I'm saying it. Hold on, listen. This is in general for people on the page who have me that got me in the category. Because I hear whispers, because people tell me, because people that I talk to, and people that know me, and there's white people that know me that tell me this shit. This is where the fuck I'm getting it from. So don't get it twisted. I'm letting it be known. The reason why I criticize certain fighters is because of the standards and the position they're in. I don't talk about Usyk the same way I talk about them. I talk about Postal in a different light. I like him. I even like Lomachenko. But if I said that Lomachenko got an opportunity that nobody else would have ever got, meaning he lost a title fight and then fought for that same title in his next fight, and that was his second and third fight as a pro, That is the truth. You cannot take because I said that and because I'm the only person that brought that up and say that I'm on some racial shit just because you don't like the fact that I'm bringing up some shit and putting it in the forefront. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you know what though? Hold on.
You got to think about the. Yeah, go ahead,
Same thing
Bo.
with Gennady Golovkin.
Okay, no.
Gennady Golovkin. I've always said that Gennady Golovkin is the best middleweight, and I don't think none of them could beat him. I just started thinking Canelo could beat him after the Jacobs fight. I'm consistent. But if I bring up the fact that he's only fought one champion in 11 years, my guy, is the fucking truth. Don't get mad at me and say I'm being racial because I told the truth. I don't like that. That's not fair. Because
Okay,
I had a boxing reason for anything I ever said about any of those fighters, and I've always said the truth about those fighters, and that's to you and anybody on the page.
Okay, but here's what you got to understand, though, Evan. Here's what you got to see. You got to see. Ain't number one thing you got to understand is the guys who know you, like you said, they already know where that's come from, what your intent is. We know what that is because we heard the comment when it's originally said. When you got as many people we have in the room, they coming in on the ass end, on the very ass end of what's being said, and they're judging it based off of that. They're not looking at the whole. That's why I said sometimes people are lazy. They're not looking at the whole history, or they're not even trying to inquire, well, why do you feel that way? They just read it. It's their favorite fighter. They don't like it, and they decide to go in. See, and that's like there's a lot of times I've had guys come at me in the page about something I've done, and I'm like, dog, where was you 2 days ago when I said this right here 2 days ago? Like sometimes you just gotta look at that and ignore it. Like you had a fucking dude that called Julius a racist. Okay, now he's a lot of fucking things. Yeah. Right? But a racist? Come on, man. Stop.
No, he's not a racist. He's not no racist.
Right, exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point is I don't feel no type of way about a lot of shit. I let shit get said. It don't even bother me. But what I'm saying is when somebody's going to put me in a racist category when I coach European children, you see what I'm saying? I'm a boxing coach, bro. I deal with European coaches every day, my homies. Like, they're my friends.
Yeah, we know that. That's what I'm trying to say. We know that, though. Evan, we know you, and we know that. Yeah. They don't know that.
But that's what I'm saying. That narrative.
Look. I'm going to give you an example. Can I give you an example? When the Canelo shit was going on, that the fight wasn't made and people's complaining, they said I was racist against Mexicans. I got something against Mexicans. I didn't like Mexicans. Yeah, Mikey Garcia is one of my favorite fighters. Juan Manuel Marquez was one of my favorite fighters. Do they know that? No.
As a matter of fact, it's funny. I had motherfuckers messaging me, asking me, was Julius Italian? That's why he don't like Mexicans. I just was laughing my ass off. I said, what the fuck?
Like, seriously. And what is all that behind? Because of one fucking fighter, not that I hate, but one fighter that they sweet on. They sweet on Canelo. Yeah. So you say something about Canelo. Why? Canelo is the homie, Holmes.
Take it back.
My face.
Take it back.
You know what? That's why I give a lot of props to Nico, man. Nico called it right down the middle on that one. He's like, man, fuck this dude.
Yeah, his name to this day is still fuck Canelo on the chat.
Yeah. Also, real shit. The reason why I said that though is because I felt as though it needed to be said because on the page I do videos, whatever. If I'm in a discussion, whatever. I don't like when people just continue to throw that at me, but I'm sitting up here clearly giving you.
I'm gonna tell you something. Yo, look. Tommy Lockhart is doing to me what you claim people are doing to you, and that shit get on my nerves. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? This guy's dumb, and I'm just going whatever.
But see, Evan, that's your fault though, Evan. See, it's your fault. And let me explain to you why it's your fault, Evan. Okay, because you have the quintessential angry black man look. You know what I'm saying, dog? You know what I'm saying? You got the beard, you got the lips going, you got the Philadelphia growl and shit. Yeah. You got the quintessential angry black man look.
You want to know the best way I can explain myself, and this is in all honesty to y'all my buddies, and to anybody on the page that's watching or anybody that's listening. This is the best way I can explain myself. I love who I am, right? Mm-hmm. And my people, they were slaves, right? But some of them escaped, right? Well, guess what? It was the Underground Railroad. I could never be racist. Mm-hmm. There's no Underground Railroad without what? Good white people.
White people.
Bottom line. So that's my outlook on life. You understand what I'm saying? So when you a guy like me, and I'm saying, and I'm talking boxing, this is something I love. Don't throw that at me because you ain't got no reply to me, yo. I'm not like that. You coming at my character now. Mm-hmm. You can say anything about what you feel about.
Evan, I'm gonna teach you a universal law. I'm gonna teach you a universal law. Some people are not as smart as you are, and you have to accept that because they did already. They accepted being dumb.
That's
You
fact.
should accept that they are dumb.
You
Let
got
them be
Evan.
dumb.
You got motherfuckers probably sitting at home right now, pissed off that you on this bitch right here talking.
Yep.
Yeah, man. You seen some of the comments from before this? They were like, "Oh," or first they would call you like Evan.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Evan. Evan needs to get off the pot. He's always screaming.
No, I scream
Right.
because I'm passionate about the sport. I'm a boxing coach. You ever been in a boxing gym? Then you will understand exactly why I scream sometimes. I gotta talk over the heavy bag. I gotta talk over the bell. I gotta talk over the speed bag.
I gotta
And then
talk
I
over
gotta
dumb
talk over-
people.
And then I gotta talk over the floor work because you can hear the squeak, 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 squeak,
Yeah.
squeak, 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 squeak. Because everybody got on boxing shoes. So
Oh
sometimes
yeah, that's
That
true,
man,
man.
you gotta accept.
Listen, when Evan calls me, I take my Beats headphones off and put them like behind my ear. I can still hear that
Yeah,
motherfucker
yeah,
talking
hear
so
me.
loud.
I don't mean no harm to
I
nobody.
just gotta accept that there's people out there that are not as smart as you,
That's true.
and they dumb, and they gonna be dumb, and they accepted that, and you should too. They're dumb. What can you do?
I mean,
They're
look at
gonna
the
be
post.
short-sighted.
Look at the post. You asked the question. You said, "Give me X's and O's on why you think this guy win." I think just only the regular cats answer.
Yep.
So
Yep. And then, that's what I'm saying. And every time I make a pick, one thing that I'm consistent about, and I feel as though it was always the Ring IQ standard, was that if you made a pick, you gave a breakdown. If you didn't have a breakdown, then you usually said, "I don't know, but I think this person gonna win, and I'm gonna rock with this person."
Yeah.
If I say I think this person is going to win, then I say I think he's going to win. And I tell you why. And guess what? I could be wrong because this is boxing and anything can happen. And when I'm wrong, all I say is, "Damn, he beat him. I was sorry." But
Yeah.
whatever with this and this and that. That shit don't bother me being wrong with a pick. You know how many fights I pick? I pick a fight
Dude.
every day.
Dude,
I
not
watch
only did
boxing every day.
I picked Yamanaka to win, and the nigga was number 4 on my pound for pound list. You think I didn't get motherfuckers talking to me?
No, people was picking. Listen, I picked Chocolatito. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck didn't though?
Right.
Who the fuck didn't?
Exactly.
Though?
Exactly.
How
many of us got burned over Jeff Horn, man? How many? Nobody
No.
seen that coming. Nobody seen that coming.
Jeff Horn played me. But then I thought about something. I heard something, right? They was talking about Pacquiao, and Michael Conklin was talking about he didn't want to get bigger sparring partners for Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And Bruce was saying he wanted to get bigger sparring partners for Pacquiao, right? And I was thinking about something. I said, well, damn, did Manny Pacquiao, he had small sparring partners getting prepared for Jeff Horn? He was unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
Great as you
Might have
are,
been.
you never want to be
He
unprepared.
might have been. That's true. He might have been. I mean, look at who Golovkin is. Golovkin is sparring fucking Murad, big ass.
Yeah,
now.
Jesus Christ, that guy. I'm like, holy shit.
Hey, what's going on, dog?
Hey, what's going on, dog?
If you about to fight Mike Tyson, you should spar David Tua. You shouldn't spar Hakeem Rahman.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, so we're getting toward the tail end of everything, guys. So, what was your guys' official breakdown and prediction of this Indongo Crawford fight? I have I think you know what? Actually, you guys go because I still haven't actually even thought this out.
I have Indongo winning, but Terrence Crawford is going to come out undisputed.
What? Oh, I see. I see what you did there.
This way, whoever wins, I was right.
I see what he did there. Yeah, just covering all bases.
Man, I picked Bud, man. But listen, the reason why I picked Bud is because I feel like Bud is the type of fighter that has more skill overall. He can make a lot of different changes and adjustments, and he can come at you a lot of different ways. And I believe that he will find a way to deal with Indongo's length and his height, and the fact that, like I said before, he's a long fighter and he fights in and out. I think that like he's gonna be like a bit of a problem though for a little while in the beginning. He's a southpaw. I'm anxious to see how Bud approaches that. Does he just fight from a southpaw stance? Because southpaws are not as used to seeing other southpaws as they are used to seeing conventional fighters. So he may take that approach, or he may take the approach to, you know what I mean, go conventional. So I'm more so anxious to see what he does to negate what Indongo brings. But as far as me telling you what he's going to do and how he's going to do it, I can't say because he ain't never fight nobody like Indongo. And I tried to compare Indongo to Postal, but they're different.
Yeah, very.
Now I picked Bud to win, but let me tell you something. I think, and hear me out on this one. I think from a mental aspect, Bud already has an edge over Indongo because Indongo don't know which fighter to prepare for. Should he prepare for the conventional fighter, or should he prepare for a guy who's going to come out and go southpaw? So when you have that going into a training camp, that kind of plays with you just a little bit mentally because you're trying to prepare for both of them, and that can be kind of hard to do. So I think Bud has that, but I got Terrence because I think from what we've seen against Terrence and the level of opponents, he's shown he has a little bit more ring IQ. He's shown that he understands the moment a lot better than Indongo understands the moment. And he knows what he has to do in the moment a lot different than what Indongo has to do in the moment. So, but if I look at overall, because if you look at just physicality, there's areas where Terrence Crawford does not have the advantage. But if you look at it in its totality and the intangibles, Terrence Crawford has more advantage in the intangible things as the moment, the preparation for the fight, everything. The camp, the guys in his corner, how to go about his business, what the judges are looking for, the referee and all that. He has a little bit more edge in those intangibles over Indongo. But Indongo is the type of guy that kind of shit might not even fucking matter to him.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up, Bo, is that he's done this on numerous occasions before. This is nothing new to him.
This is nothing new to him.
So, and that's you can go ahead and finish your breakdown. I'll guess lead into mine.
No, that's all I was gonna say. So just off of the intangibles, I'm going with Terrence Crawford, but I would not be surprised if this fight is a lot harder and a lot closer than what a lot of people are thinking. Because if you look at Julius Indongo, one thing he's shown us is he don't give a shit. Like he is happy to be in the position he's in because he's never been this way before. He's waited to become 34 years old, and to him, this is a lifelong dream for him.
He going to live life to the fullest in this.
Hell yeah, man. He's that's what I mean. He's gonna enter this ring. He's gonna enter the ring with no regrets.
None. And Indongo gonna bring it, and Bud's gonna counter it. It's that simple.
That's true.
Bud's gonna counter it. Indongo is going in for the kill.
I mean, and that's the interesting thing. I mean, that just goes to tell you just how great this boxing year has been. Other than just a great fight, I mean, the Cinderella stories with Joe Smith Jr. I mean, came to an end a few weeks ago. But
breakouts, breakout guys.
Yeah, and I mean with Indongo now, who, I mean, this guy, for me, like I said, he's done this before, going into his enemy's territory, not knowing. I mean, so in the aspect of what you were saying, Ibn, as far as how to prepare for somebody that who can just honestly just fight off the cuff, who could freestyle it or just whatever he's given to it and adapt to it just like that.
Right.
I don't think it hampers Indongo too much, just because he was going to go in fighting his fight anyway.
Yep.
He was going to go in with his own game plan. I don't think that's necessarily going to be a concern for him, trying to figure out Terrence Crawford. I do think he has to expect that Terrence Crawford is going to come out here to box at some point of some sort. So I think he's going to have something for that. I'm expecting this to be Terrence Crawford's toughest fight. So I'm expecting to see a few rounds that he actually loses. They're probably going to be early. That's not Terrence Crawford's style to really lose the later rounds. That's usually around the time that he's already figured it out. But I feel like this one may take a while, just due to its sheer awkwardness. And And but I mean, I haven't seen a reason why I haven't seen a reason to go against Terrence Crawford before.
Right.
I don't see why to do that now. But this is a very tough test for him. But I still think he gets it done.
You know what though? Let me just say one thing though. When I'm talking about, because the one thing about a boxing event in America is different than any place else, because a boxing event in America is taxing mentally and physically, because we do everything. You do interviews, you do meet and greets, you do all these things that you don't do in other countries. So that shit is taxing on you mentally and physically.
I mean, he did the England goes. I mean, which is pretty much the same. I think England is, if anything, they're more media pressing than we are here. I mean, look, like I said, I've only seen one side-by-side interview that they gave the week before with Terrence Crawford and Indongo talking about the fight. If you would have made that shit over in the UK with Sky Sports, they'd be talking to those motherfuckers every fucking day leading into the fight.
Yep.
I mean, they are a media overload. Like they almost fucking sick of some fighters.
Asking you questions and shit the day of the fight. Like, so how do you feel about it?
They made Charles Martin look like an interesting figure.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Okay, you know what?
They actually entertained the bullshit that came out of his mouth.
Yeah, I'll defer to you guys on that, because I don't normally watch the build up from Sky Sports and all that stuff. So yeah, you guys are probably right.
Yeah, Sky Sports is on it. You better believe it.
If
they got a fight in the books, they are on it. They got the commercials. They got the
like Sky Sports. Make sure that motherfuckers know about the fight. America need to take a cue from Sky Sports. They in the sky, man, with the clouds and shit. And Indongo is a real dude, man, but I just think he's trying to kill Crawford. I think he's smart enough to know he's not going to outbox him. I think he's going to go in there and try to kill him. He will offer Crawford the opportunities to counter, evade, and counter. Crawford is a shorter, sharper puncher, faster hands, and he's the smarter guy. I think Crawford wins a very cautious decision. He not dumb. Don't try Indongo. Lungdungo went to Troyanovsky's backyard.
Lungdungo.
You better watch that shit. Pause.
No homo.
Lungdungo. I know he got that shit from. No, I know he got that shit from. I know he got that. That shit was said in the chat room, man. That shit was funny as hell.
He might stick you.
Oh shit. Boxing fan asks, what do we think about Dillian Whyte making his American debut? I think we already touched about that, but yeah, he's definitely a good character to have over here. Definitely a good character to have into the heavyweight division right now. And I think he's one of the few, and that Chisora fight for me proved it out, is that like, he's willing to get through the thick of the shit to back up his word. Honestly, the Anthony Joshua fight, I didn't know who the fuck Dillian Whyte was before that fight. I just figured he was just some fucking mouthy guy who was just trying to make the best of the opportunity that's being given to him.
Dillian Whyte is a less fat Jarrell Miller. He's a less fat with an accent. That's it. Fun guy. I think he's a little better than Jarrell, even though I'd pick Jarrell to beat him, just because Jarrell gonna fight his fight. He's gonna come forward. He's gonna be fat. He's gonna lean on you, and he's gonna try to hit you real fucking hard. He's going to fight that same fucking fight. I think he could knock out Whyte, but generally speaking, I like Whyte more than I like Miller.
Yeah.
Whyte's a fun guy.
Me too. Yeah, Miller is
he's a better like character. Like I like the way Whyte carries himself. Like he's like good entertainment. So you kind of wish him to do good for a while just so he could be around. So he can be relevant, so you can have him as a part of what's going on. You know what I mean? It's a overall puzzle. But I don't think, I think the best guys will just beat him.
Yeah. But Whyte versus Parker would be an interesting fight because Parker can be gotten to. Andy Ruiz proved that shit. He could be gotten to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I honestly think a Whyte Wilder fight is a bit more intriguing than some may think.
Only because of the way Deontay Wilder fights.
Listen, I don't give a fuck. Okay, you can think what you want. Wilder will knock his head from here.
All right. So just get it out the way.
Will, but here's the thing though, because of the way Deontay fights, any fight against him looks interesting because of the way he fights. We know eventually he's gonna hit you with the right hand, but any fight with him,
that fight could end.
So it's always a risk up to that point.
Dillian White not sharp.
That fight could end before the half.
Listen, sharp
that
fighters.
Fight Wilder could end before the half because Dillian White opened up.
Listen, sharp fighters last a little while when they fight Wilder before he knock him out. Sharp ones do. The ones that's like they boxing like a little like you know what I mean, good like technique and whatever, right? Dillian White is not that cat. He's not gonna last long, bro. His punch is wide and all that.
No, you're not.
That fight.
His
that
punch is
fight
wide
that
and all
could
that.
end
If
at
he was
around
like
6.
a Gerald Washington style of motherfucker, or just the type of motherfucker that was just gonna sit there and
Malik Scott would last longer with Wilder than
Dillian White.
Dillian White, motherfucker. Than Dillian White.
Malik Scott gonna fight that negative fight. He gonna play keep away. He gonna play hot potato with himself. Dillian White gonna try to fight, and that's what'll get him knocked out.
He ain't gonna get knocked. That's all I'm saying. That's
right, and that's what makes him an interesting figure. See, Dillian White will talk, but he'll also get in there and fight you.
Yeah,
that's what makes him an interesting figure.
He's not gonna get in there and be different. He's trying to fight, and that's why I like his ass because he's gonna fight.
Yeah. No,
throw him in there with Jarrell. Well, Jarrell gonna knock him out. Jarrell's a fat bastard. But I would like to see White fight a lot of guys. I would like to see White fight Izu. That'd be a war.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That'd be World War III.
Fight who?
I could appreciate White and what he bring to the table. I really can. But what I'm saying is like a cat, like in terms of like when people throw him at Wilder, I'm like, no. It's not like he's not going to beat Wilder. Like I would like Jarrell Big Baby Miller probably have a better chance of beating Deontay Wilder than Dillian White does.
No, he doesn't. They both get beat.
And I think
Wilder
beat them
the same amount of time.
And I think
the only reason Jarrell Miller beat Jarrell Washington because Jarrell Washington ain't got no power. He lied. He lied to us in that Wilder fight.
Yeah.
You ain't got no power. He's just skinny.
He don't got no power.
He's just skinny.
Yeah, he don't got no power.
Jarrell Miller gave us an Eric Molina performance.
But
don't do that. Don't even start that shit, bro. Instigating ass. I knew.
I got him. Did you hear George? He agreed with me. I got him.
Oh my god. He was waiting for that shit for months.
It goes to show making Wilder look bad don't make you a good fighter. Spilker, Washington, Molina.
Because that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a motherfucker that like Wilder, but I'll be honest with you. It's not anybody that's gonna come to fight. I ain't worried about you. It's a person that's gonna box. You gotta worry about somebody that's gonna box, but they gotta be able to withstand when he do catch him, and that's the real. And so far, nobody never really withstand it. Bermain withstanded it, but it was like he went through so much withstanding it that he couldn't win the round. See, that's all I'm saying about him. So I'm real when I say that. When I say that, like I'm real about Wilder. I'll tell you in a minute. If the motherfucker sharp, oh man, this shit gonna be crazy for a minute. But like this motherfucker better not get hit though. That's reality.
Stavern White, that'll be a great fight.
That
would be a great fight.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be a great fight. Cause Stavern is tough, man. He tough. He could take a punch.
He can punch too.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
That motherfucker made it to 12 with Wilder, bro. He got caught in the 7th. He got caught a couple times. He didn't go down. He went like down on some bullshit, but he didn't go down though.
So Julius, what was your official pick as far as for this main event?
I mean, my official pick is Terrence Crawford in a carefully fought chess match. Meaningful punches will go to Terrence Crawford. Indongo is not a cerebral fighter. He's a very raw, crude fighter with good abilities. He's a little bit elusive. He's awkward, but Crawford's a sharper guy. And a lot of what Indongo does is telegraph. Go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Crawford's going to see it coming. He's going to see it coming, and he's going to have something for it. But Crawford's not going to mix it up with him, I don't think.
No, he's not.
He'd be smart not to.
He better not go straight back.
That's still a threat.
But better not go straight back. He better be close to the side. He can't go straight back.
Evan,
If you go straight back with
that's a
Indongo,
real good point. Because he was killing Ricky Burns with that shit.
Yeah.
you can't go straight back. I was watching him fight like 2 nights. I was watching him fight the other night, bro. You can't go. You gotta go to the side. You know what I'm saying? Because his attack is down the barrel. That's why even if Bud come at him from southpaw or orthodox, the attack's still down the barrel. But it's just longer than usual. It's real long. So if you think you're gonna go straight back, he gonna take that extra step like a double jab or a triple jab, and he gonna be right with you. You fuck around, be at the rope.
And more importantly, it's because of who Indongo is in this fight that he got to bring the fight. Crawford not gonna bring the fight to him. He gonna bring the fight to Crawford. If it was the other way around, it's a different fight. But Indongo gonna bring the fight to him.
That's a
fact.
I agree. I agree 100% with
Crawford
that.
need to win. That's what he need to win. Like, bring me to fight so I can counter the shit out of you.
Come on, so I can get something. Come give it to me.
I agree 100% with that. You're right.
Yeah.
And Indongo got to go out there and win and win that fight. Crawford just got to go up there and do what he does. I agree.
Yeah, he's got to change the tone of the fight.
Yeah.
Indongo brings the fight, and Terrence Crawford has to dictate it.
Yep, I agree with that.
If you've been keeping up with Indongo, that's the fight that he been fighting. He brought the fight to Troyanovsky. He brought the fight to Ricky Burns. He'll bring the fight to Crawford, but Crawford ain't Burns.
That's what he believes in, bro. Yeah. No, Indongo go bring you the fight. You can count on that shit. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, so I got Crawford winning the decision behind meaningful punches, but he ain't dumb. Don't mix it up with this guy. Right. Mixing it up is how Troy got caught. Go back and watch it. That's how he got caught, mixing it up.
Agreed.
Don't do that.
Agreed.
He gonna wind up that straight left hand, and that's trouble.
Agreed.
All right, gentlemen.
Lucas Brown is in the WBC, y'all.
Who?
He's back.
No, fuck no,
Daddy.
no.
Lucas Brown is back. Povetkin is back. Povetkin is back.
Why won't they let this fucking guy just go already, man? He's not even fucking good.
Matter of fact,
anyway, you know what? And you know what? I guess that's a good note to end the fucking pod right here and now, man. Fuck that. What the hell?
I hate that.
Fucking Lucas Brown.
Then they just
this guy looks like a goddamn science experiment as is.
I hate Lucas Brown and fucking Povetkin. I hate him. I don't give a fuck. I hate them motherfuckers because they habitual steroid users, man.
Is it true that Briggs is supposed to fight Povetkin in the winter? Because I heard that.
I hope they never make this motherfucker a mandatory nothing for nothing, and he never get another title shot, never ever. And
well, keep it a bean. Look.
Whoop his ass, and he stopped fighting.
They can't keep him out. Robinski got deep pockets. Let's just be real with ourselves.
And I hope they
Robinski got deep pockets.
And I hope they beat him into no more. And I
never. You're right about that one though.
No, this is
that dude got deep pockets, man.
Listen, bro, I
deep pockets. You can't keep him out,
bro. I strap my son up 5 days a week. I'm about to go strap him up when we hang up right here, man. I never hope that nobody ever get hurt in the boxing ring. But man, from the bottom of my heart, I'm tired of Povetkin and Lucas Brown and this shady ass shit they got going on in Europe. How these motherfuckers keep getting more fights, and I hope something happened where as though this motherfucker can't fight no more, man.
Basically, something to put him out there. So basically, something to put him out.
I hope it happened in sparring and the fight never happened. I hope it happened in fucking sparring and the fight never happened too. Fucking, I'm tired of this motherfucker.
He can't get honestly, he can't get the Wilder because Stavern is in the way, and even if Stavern wasn't in the way, you got to get through a couple of guys before you can get that title shot. Any way you slice it. If you talking about Parker, if you talking about Joshua, if you talking about Wilder, you can't get to those. Not this year.
Hey, I'm tired. Listen, I'm tired of all these motherfuckers that took it, or potentially might have took it. I'm tired of the motherfucking Kovalovs. I'm tired of the fucking Andre Wards. I'm tired of the Pacquiao's. I'm tired of the Floyd.
Hey, wait a fucking minute. Wait a fucking minute.
Joshua,
first of all, wait a minute, Dambo. Wait a minute, because I know you're just flat out tired, period. So maybe that's why you're sounding a little delusional right now. Okay? So let's not throw fucking Pacquiao in there. Unproven until proven innocent. Until proven guilty.
Okay, you're right, man. You're right, man.
Out here sounding foolishness because you're tired.
You're right, man. You're right. I'm scared of needles. Let me get this tattoo right. Let me get this tattoo right.
Hey, look.
George, guess what?
What's up?
Guess what? Pacquiao on the suspicion list.
You know what?
Yeah, he
You
on
know,
that list.
and that's a made up fictional mental
Nah, there ain't
list.
no motherfucker.
It's a mental
He on
list.
that list.
That ain't that you know what? Until then, there's nothing you can put on the man. He's still in the history books. Give him his fucking credit, mate. He's still fighter of the decade, my man.
Juan Manuel Marquez on the suspicion list.
Dapper Dan, Dapper Dran.
Who?
Juan Manuel Marquez. He's on that list.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
Oh
on
yeah!
that
All
list.
of a sudden, he just gets a spark knockout of Floyd. Where the Manny? Where the fuck did that come from?
Hey, Bo, who else on the suspicion list? Bo, go ahead, Bo. Who else?
Oh, you know, you got Floyd. I beat my ass.
Floyd IB.
Yeah, I beat my
Fluid.
ass. Yeah.
Fluid.
Andre Ward.
If
Right,
Conor
Andre
Marav
Ward,
gets
his
knocked out
muscles
in his
didn't look
next
right
fight,
for
he's going on the
175.
list. If Conor Marav manages to get a knockout, he's going because you ain't been knocking people out. You got
wait,
30
Bo.
fights.
Bo, you forgot one more person, Anthony Joshua.
No, I said
Why?
Anthony Joshua.
Hold
can't be on the
on.
list.
Why?
Bro, he can't be on the list.
Huh?
No, he on the suspicion list, man.
No,
he
because
can't be on the list.
I'm being
Anthony
facetious,
Joshua,
obviously.
Listen to me.
Look,
Listen,
I'm being listen. I'm
Earl
just being
Spence
funny.
on there.
The only
His
one
nipples.
enrolled in more than
Earl
one
Spence on
program.
there. Look at his
Errol
nipples.
Spence too because of the nipples. Don't forget.
Errol Spence used Vada before Brooke. He's not on the list.
Forget though, but his nipples are
Joshua
weird though, so he's under the
Joshua
suspicion list.
cannot be on that list because he's in UCAD, he's in Adams, and he's in the Fair Boxing Program, which is the WBA's version of the clean boxing program. So he
Anthony
can't be on the list.
Joshua.
Hey, but his nipples are long though,
Anthony
so
Joshua looks like an action
but no,
You gotta
Pacquiao.
ask Khan's wife about that shit.
Anthony Joshua looks like somebody off of WWE wrestling, therefore he's automatically on.
he looks like the protege of The Rock.
Real life action
He like the he like the OG.
He look like the Nation of
Yo,
Domination
he made
prodigy.
The Rock look like he was 5'7", man.
Yeah.
You seen that shit?
Anthony
With him
Joshua.
and
If
him
Anthony Joshua was a
Kevin
wrestler,
Hart?
he'd be in the Nation of Domination.
Yeah, I saw that shit, Julius.
He need a kufi and
He
a black
made
shirt.
The Rock look like he was 5'7".
Nation,
Like,
the
what the
domination. We are the nation.
Hey,
The domination.
Farouk.
Farouk.
These heavyweights is too goddamn big, man. They too
They're
big.
looking like Farouk.
Oh man.
You making
Farouk.
wrestlers. You making
D'Lo
wrestlers
Brown.
look like little fat guys.
The
Right.
Godfather.
You're right though, Julius. He did. I saw that picture, man.
I ain't never
Too
seen a
goddamn
boxer
big,
that-
man.
Fucking but now you guys know to believe Adrian Broner ain't gonna show up when he's looking like Paul Bear before like 3 months before the fight. looking like Paul Bear with bareback in a vest.
I don't give a fuck what predicament you put him in. He's not gonna show up. That motherfucker got put in a lifetime situation, and he ain't even die on the cross.
Nope. He ain't
I would
even
have respected this gangster, right? Listen, I
he didn't even go out on his shield or nothing.
That's just all I'm saying.
Who's that?
I would have respected
Adrian
this gangster
Broner.
if he had just went out on the shield. Like, fuck that. In the 8th round, I'm going at this motherfucker because whatever. He ain't even try that. Like,
In the
like,
10th,
ain't
he
gonna never
did.
show up.
In the 10th, he did, but Broner gonna be Broner. Stay in character. Lemieux stays in character. Broner stays in character.
Yeah, that's true.
It is what it is.
That's
And,
true.
and I'm about
Stay in
to
character.
get in character right now. So
I'm about to go
It's
to
bold.
I'm gonna take care of some business.
I'm about to go to the gym. I got some open sparring tomorrow at my gym.
Oh yeah, yo, I might show up to that.
Yo, man,
Are you
listen,
gonna be down
What
there?
time? What time is it?
it's gonna be that shit popping off at 11, bro. It's
11?
gonna be 11 to 4,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm gonna bring my gym shit. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna be mad rusty though. I haven't hit a bag in months.
Listen, George, it's all
Yeah,
good.
you have. You've hit a bag.
I hit a few other bags.
You hit a bag. You hit a bag. I saw you. I saw you. I saw.
It's a
I
jar
saw-
now.
I saw you with that big girl trying to push her in the car. You hit
Come
a
on,
bag.
George. Come back. Hey, George.
Oh wait a minute. Oh what? That's where you were taking this?
Yeah.
Damn, I thought you had something better to work with there, man.
No, I did, but I don't.
Oh,
Don't volunteer nothing, George. He talking about fat girls. So
Oh yeah, not that
Hey,
bag.
volunteer
Come on
nothing.
down, George. I got my mittens in my locker. I'll show you some shit, man. I'm telling you. Come on down.
All right, man. Yeah. So we'll do those like fancy ass pads where it's.
No, I'll do 50, bro. I'm a teacher, bro. I ain't no coach. I'm a teacher.
50
I'm a teacher. 50, bro. 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 I'm a teacher. 50, b
All right, man.
Oh, I mean, George been over here beating up pillowcases and shit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to master that combination. You know, you gotta get that. You gotta cuff right under the like. You gotta get that under the nuts. You know what I mean? You can't just hit. You can't just hit the nuts square on. You gotta hit the. You gotta get that. You gotta get that dingle.
I can show you how to hide from the ref.
You just gotta get that. Dig. You gotta dig to the nuts.
I don't teach that, but
that's what Cortez is there to do. He teaching Khan how to fight dirty. I know it.
Listen, my dad showed me how to fly blind spots in the ring, and I can show you how to fly blind spots in the ring. But that's one of my secrets. But you only can talk to me face to face about that.
All right, so gentlemen, social media plug time. I'm gonna go first.
I don't teach that to my kids.
Oh, you better not. No. All right, so G.Alé 6 on Instagram, G.Alé Dampier on Facebook, Georgie Dampier on YouTube, and at Georgie Dampier on Twitter. Shout out to Ring IQ, always popping. UK boxing group, the Movement boxing group. All of you guys.
Hey,
shout out Pound for Pound Boxing. All you guys, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm supposed to be on last night's episode. I got home hella late, so wasn't able to make it to that. Hopefully can get that made up sometime soon. Ibn, take it away.
Hey man, 22bay_ boxing on Instagram. Ibn Daoud Rasul on Facebook. Catch me at Ring IQ or catch me somewhere at your local USA boxing event. That's what I do. And man, enjoy the fight this weekend. And pay respect to this fight, no matter who the winner, because this is a unification for undisputed champion, and you don't get that often, and especially in these days times in boxing, where you have a lot of champions that don't even be wanting to fight each other for real. So appreciate what you're getting this weekend, and appreciate the fact that Bob Arum and them let this go down, because like they always play games, man. But one thing this shows is that when two fighters want to fight, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Good take. Go ahead, Julius.
All right, you can find me at Ring IQ Boxing Memes, where the women's super featherweight champ is mad at me because I said she was from North Korea, even though she is from North Korea. She got mad. You can also find me on the Relay on YouTube and Ring IQ Boxing Group, where we make fun of people that are inaccurate a lot. We make fun of them. You know, don't go in there if you ain't got thick skin, because you really don't belong in there if you don't. Shout out to this weekend. Shout out to Terrence Crawford. He's gonna be #1 pound for pound on my list if he win. And Indongo, we're gonna see about Indongo if he win. You know, and God bless Indongo for what he's done, because he made this possible. So God bless him, regardless of the outcome. And shout out to Charles, because Charles has been mad for 2 weeks, but you know, I'm still gonna keep laughing.
Man, you guys know you can find me at Truth and Facts About Boxing. You can also find me with Julius at Instagram at Truth_FactBox1. You can, wherever I see a woman boxing, before I can click like, I done seen that motherfucker hit that shit about 3 times and shit. You can also find me at Twitter at capital T for Truth_FactBox1. Movement Podcast with my boys, 2K Prodigy of Boxing, Twine, Hoop Jab, Big Cool from Colossal, and my partner in crime, Detective B. And man, you can also find me right here at the ring. Shout out to all our admins out there doing their thing. You know, shout out to man, Charles Glenn doing his thing with his daughter. Evan doing his thing with his son Salim. And everybody out there, man, just man, props to everybody out there that's taking this sport and being positive about it, regardless of who it is and who they fight for. And shout out to our orchestrator, Mr. G.Alé Dampier. Shout out to him. Shout out to him for that wonderful Humpty Hump haircut that he gave us today to come on the show with that gold watch and his Superfly collar shirt. Pimp out, pips up, hoes down.
Well, when Bo isn't out selling creating pole bait, he's often making repetitive Digital Underground jokes. So on that note, I want to thank all my fellow admin Ring IQ admins for joining me today. And just a heads up, I do have a little something on the way later on today for anyone a member of the channel, or at least a subscriber of the channel, not just the Hands of Fire. It's I think I'm gonna go a little state of mind, bringing that back, you know. So
do the Humpty Dump. Do the Humpty. Do the Humpty Dump. Yo, I
Fuck
just
you,
realized who he was referencing.
All right,
He said that to the Wondergram.
Well, you know,
Oh shit.
you know, they had some hits. A hit.
Yeah, he did. That was my shit.
Yeah,
When
I mean, Tupac came from that, so there's a bright side to everything. All right, so until then, we'll catch you next week. Like I said, we'll probably try to do this again around this time next week. No longer moving from Wednesday, so we'll catch you sometime next week. And I'm still debating, guys. Do we really need to say anything about Conor McGregor and Mayweather Friday? Or should I say? I mean,
I'm not going to talk about that.
Cotto's going to get completely outshadowed, but you know, this is his diva ass fault for trying to look for a soft touch on the way out.
Next week.
All right. So we'll touch on it slightly, unfortunately. All right. So until then, guys, keep your hands up. Peace.
Peace.